to my channel and welcome to part 3 of my journey through anxiety and depression. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do hit the subscribe button below. So today I've just had my 3rd counselling session and boy, it was a tough one. I've realised that a lot of the issues and the challenges, or maybe the trauma, as my counsellor has put it, of my childhood, I thought I'd dealt with, but I haven't. I'd really just locked them away in a box and left them. I might have dealt with them mentally as to what has happened and tried to rationalise what has happened, but emotionally I have, I think, just strayed away from it and not wanted to discuss them at all. Usually what I tend to do, and the counsellor picked up on this, was that I tend to, when I talk about them, is just then immediately dismiss them. And I think that's because I don't really want to deal with the pain that hides beneath them. So because a lot of this, obviously, it relates back to my childhood, and it wasn't, it wasn't a really bad childhood, but it was just different to most people's childhood. With my, I can't really say too much about what it is, because obviously I'd have to get their permission to be able to speak about the person themselves, but just, a lot of issues that I had in my childhood, and I've not really dealt with the emotional side of things. Like I say, I've put things in a box and kind of almost left them there and not really dealt with them, because they are very painful to deal with. And we were talking through some of the memories that I had today, and just talking through about things that happen, and we would mention certain words, and then that would evoke another memory then that I would talk about. My counsellor got a bit upset with the stuff that I was saying, not like upset mad, but like sad upset. And so we're talking about basically what would I say to my inner child, as it were. And I know some of this can be a bit tongue-in-cheek, and you're thinking, oh God, classic counsellor tricks, etc. And it's really not like that at all. It does make a lot of sense with talking through it, but what would I say to my inner child, as it were, almost like befriending my inner child or parenting my inner child. Seems as though I seem to do a lot of parenting within my own family, parenting of my parents, in fact, as well as my brother and my sister. What would I say to my inner child, and just to let them know that it's okay, and what's happened, it isn't, it wasn't my fault, and that, what happened, this other person had no control over, or very little control over. And one of the exercises that the counsellor asked me to do in preparation for this was to write a letter to this particular person of my family, and I found the process quite cathartic in a way. It helped me process some of the things that have gone on. It made me ask a few questions, as well as, why wasn't I, why didn't this person see that I was worth it, or, why did they want to leave me? What had I done wrong? Is this anything that I could have done better as a daughter, and sister, to make things better? And I think it's really brought up for me a ton of abandonment issues and trust issues. So, and I think have led over into, or fallen over into my life. So in the way that I deal with things, the way things that I talk about now, and the way I deal with situations that come along. So my counsellor asked me how I wanted to progress with them, and I said, well, I guess if we just deal with each one of these memories as they come along, and, you know, try and talk to my inner child to make them realise that, you know, it wasn't my fault, and that I had no control over what was going to happen, but that it would be okay. And one of the things that he actually talked to me about today was, he said to me 2 questions that he's left with me, basically, and one is, what part am I playing? And the other one is, that I actually came up with myself, was, how much of this, so my anxiety, have I actually done to myself, as in, you know, the way that I deal with things, how much of it have I done to myself, what's my doing in that? And then one of the other things that he said to think about as well, and to work on as well, was to draw 7 circles in a circle like this, and these will become my 7 guardian angels, or my 7 protectors. So the idea is that you put a word in each one of these that actually means something to you and will help balance the bad feelings that you may have. So if you're feeling that that you're gonna be out of control of something, that maybe you want to be calm, so you could put calm in one of those words. I've put in words so far, I've only put in 3 words, which I've put are trust, safety, and let go. So the idea then is to build affirmations around those particular words. So and to write them on a stone. So stones have been around a long time, obviously, but to find 7 stones, write these 7 words, whichever they'll be, and it doesn't have to be 7. You can leave one free if you like, to allow other ones to, like, you know, maybe a temporary one to go on there. But then place these 7 stones in a circle as well, and that almost becomes your circle of trust. So a bit like, what's that film, one with, I can't remember the one, but with parents anyway, but they become your 7 protectors. So you can then, once you've got those words, build affirmations on them. So like I can learn to trust people, or let myself be calm, and I can, or I am able to trust people. I am able to be calm. So I think, you know, that's something that is really stuck with me, and I think it's actually going to work. I hope it does anyway, and I'm sure if there are any other coping strategies that that we work through, then obviously I will let you know of those. One of the things that he did actually say to me again around practicing mindfulness, there's a website called breathworks.org.uk, and that has got a lot of information and mindfulness techniques that you can have a look at. I'm yet to have a look at it because I've literally just come off my Skype session with my counsellor. So I'm going to give it a go. I will let you know how I get on with that. So I hope you found this vlog useful. As ever, if you've got any questions, then pop them in the comments below. But until then, I'll see you soon. Bye.